My friend Cody's going to be coming out here sometime probably in the next couple of hours, and I got a Christmas present for him. You guys know that I've really been enjoying that one small light that I got. I got him one. So in this video, we're going to be talking about time lapses. And with the M50, there's actually 3 different ways that we can do time lapses that give us all different effects, different looks. Also, I've now entered the club of chronic iPhone screen breakers. This is the 3rd iPhone that I've broken. Now, the first way is the basic way of just taking photos and then putting them together one frame. And you can get like remotes and stuff, and I've been told that there are apps, though I haven't found one that I've really, I haven't found a free app that has allowed me to do time lapses. That's better. I haven't found a free app that's allowed me to do time lapses with the photo method, but that if you're trying to get the highest quality time lapses, you definitely want to take raw photos at your certain intervals using some sort of remote or just sitting there pressing the button over and over and over again, because that'll basically give you a 6K time lapse. Plus, using raw photos, you'll have way more ability to adjust in post-production. So if you want to do the highest quality time lapses, then you want to get a remote or an app that you can use as a remote and take full resolution raw photos. I'm starting to run late. I gotta pack up really quick. Right now, I'm only running about 7 minutes late. Hopefully I can not run too much later than that. Because I care about my audience, and I know that most of you probably don't care about what I just did, you're just coming here for the time-lapse stuff, I'm gonna put this segment at the end of the video, just to shake things up. Now, getting back to the topic at hand, the other 2 ways that you do time lapses on the Canon M50. Number 1, of course, is the time-lapse movie mode. Now, I have not done a ton of time lapses and have not gone very in-depth with time lapses, so I'm not an expert, but I did want to share with you how I use that particular setting. Basically, what I do is I automatically set my shot, how many shots it's going to take, to 900, which will give me, if I take all 900 shots, will give me a 30-second clip. But why I set to 900 shots is because that's the maximum, and you can stop it at any point along that. The camera doesn't have to go all the way up to 900, but I have that option, and if, say, I forget about it for a few minutes and I'm taking a time lapse, it continues to take that time lapse. And then what I do is I try and figure out what I want to be taking a time lapse of and how long, and then I adjust how many seconds between each shot, and you see that changes how long the camera is going to take to get that 30-second clip. So if I'm going to be doing something for about 2 hours, like the time lapses of me doing the cabinets, I figured out about how long it would take me to hang the cabinets that I was trying to hang, and then I just put that many seconds between each thing, and that always makes me feel like the speed is pretty much perfect for what I want to do. To the other way, which is basically what people did before we had time-lapse movie modes, when they didn't have time to do time lapses with photos, and that's just taking a standard video file and speeding it up. And with the M50, that gives you a cool benefit that the time-lapse movie mode doesn't give you, which is that you can put your shutter speed down to 1/8 of a second instead of just down to 1/30th of a second, and you can get more of a long exposure shot that makes whatever is moving in your video look a little bit more smooth and fluid. Now, of course, when you're doing something showing like how I was walking, if I would have had myself completely blurred out, it wouldn't have looked as good. Whereas having the regular time lapse that puts the shutter speed at, say, 1/30th of a second, that, in my opinion, is how a time lapse like that is supposed to be. Now, all of these different ways have apps. If you're trying to do real long exposure time lapses, then you definitely want to do the raw photo method. Find an app or a remote that works with the M50, and then take raw photos, because you can go pretty much infinite in how long you want to take the photo. But keep in mind, if you do it that way, it's going to take a lot longer in post-processing. Now, there are apps, and I believe there are even free apps that make it easier, but that's still not like just taking a time-lapse movie and then throwing it in your timeline. It's gonna look way better. You can't even compare how much time that you save. And now you might ask, why would I do that time-lapse movie mode when I can just take a regular file and I have more control with the shutter speed to attain a look that I actually want to get? And really there's two reasons why the movie mode would be better. One is just space. It's because it's only taking a 30-second clip, the file is not going to be as big. And then the other thing is that you have a record limit on the M50, so you will not be able to take a longer time lapse than over a 30-minute period. And again, 30 minutes at full HD or even 4K, because that's one thing that the 4K is really great for on this camera. That's a huge file compared to the time-lapse movie mode, which is basically just a 30-second video file. Which one do you use for different scenarios? Well, if you want the highest quality for like professional work, or just to show off the highest quality time-lapses you can, and you have time, I would totally do the photo method, getting a remote or an app that will let you, that you can use as an intervalometer. That's the word I was looking for. Intervalometer. Then I would do it that way. If you have the time, you can put the effort in, it's going to give you the best results no matter what. The other ones can't even touch the quality that taking 6K raw files will give you. Now, if you don't have time to do that method, and you need to take a time lapse that is going to take up longer than a 30-minute space of time, then you definitely want to use the time-lapse movie mode, because that will give you both a smaller file size and it'll allow you to take that time-lapse over a longer period of time. And come to think of it, it also uses a lot less battery power. So when you're taking a regular video, because it's taking 24 frames every second, it's taking a lot more battery. Whereas when you use the time-lapse movie mode, you can turn off the screen and it just taking one frame every several seconds. So if you have to take a longer time lapse, then definitely use the time lapse movie mode. But there are two reasons why you might want to use just a regular video file. One is that you can get that long exposure look without having to take raw photos and go through that hassle. And the number two is that if you're taking just a regular time lapse, you can do like what Casey Neistat does, where he goes straight from a time lapse into the exact same frame. You see him running up in the time lapse and then it goes to live view. If you're using the time-lapse movie mode, you couldn't do more of those specialized shots. There is advantages to every single way of using the time lapses, and those are the different scenarios that I use the different modes in. And now, if you're interested in getting a free Mavic Pro 2, let's go back to Cody.
Howdy, Pilgrim.
How's it going?
Quite well.
There's your Christmas present.
Oh, thank you.
You know what it is?
Oh, of course I know what it is. It's a new camera. Or a new lens.
No.
It's about the same size.
No, not even close.
Can I open it?
Sure.
You wrap this quite well. Drum roll. Oh snap, mini LED. This is gonna save me when I'm in a pickle. Because oftentimes I find myself needing just like one extra light.
Yeah.
And this is gonna do it for me. Thanks, man.
Yeah. See, now I need to do my review because they sent it out to me and I haven't done it. I love it so much I bought you one, but I love just adding like little pops or rim lights or stuff like that. Cody, how do you do time lapses since you're the professional?
I've never done a time lapse.
That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me at all. Cody's actually gonna let me fly one of his drones. He owns 2 or 3, is it 3?
3.
3 Mavic Pro 2s, but you're giving one away, right?
What happened?
You're giving one away, right?
I'm giving one away.
He has just reached 1,000 subscribers, so he is doing a Mavic 2 Pro giveaway. So if you want one, go over, subscribe to his channel, and he'll have a video out soon about what you have to do to get it.
It was scary first.
Isn't that cool? Just the little things DJI does. They know how to make a drone and a controller. I'm trying to get a shot here. All right, man, I'll see you later.